So there's been a lot of commentary, mostly from young people and progressives, about how they're not going to vote for Joe Biden because they don't believe that he earned their vote, mostly as a result of Israel, Gaza, or inflation or housing. The reasons differ, but generally fall into that category. And then I've also seen a lot of other Democrats lose their minds over this because the country is teetering on the brink of autocracy, and if the coalition that defeated Trump in 2020 falls apart, then so does our democracy. And I know a lot of you watching have dealt with the same thing, and that it can be tough to navigate this because as a general societal norm, you're not going to be able to persuade someone by yelling at them or criticizing them. So here's my take on how to navigate this issue, and it's actually pretty simple. This election is not about punishing Joe Biden. This election is about us and the future that we want. For example, I want to live in a country that will protect abortion rights and contraception rights and IVF. That's about me. That's what I want for myself and my family. Joe Biden is the better vehicle to get me there. I want to live in a country that takes climate change seriously and will take efforts to combat it and wind down our reliance on fossil fuels. That's about me. That's what I want for the future of humanity. Joe Biden is the better vehicle to get me there. I want to live in a country where the rich pay their fair share and where those in the middle and at the bottom get the support they need to live their lives with dignity. That is about me. That's what I want for the working class in this country. Joe Biden is the better vehicle to get us there. I want to live in a country where DACA recipients aren't deported. Joe Biden is the better vehicle to get us there. I want to live in a country where the Supreme Court isn't 6-3 or even 7-2 conservative. If Trump wins, he will replace Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito with 40-year-olds and may even replace Sonia Sotomayor. That would cement Republican rule on the court for the rest of our lives, with huge implications for abortion rights, contraception, same-sex marriage, gun rights, fair maps, the Voting Rights Act, and democracy. I don't want that for the future of this country, so Joe Biden is the better vehicle to get us there. In all of these examples, it's not about Joe Biden, it's about me and the future I want. It's about us and the future we want. For all of those examples, Joe Biden is the better vehicle to get us there. And look, this is not to carry water for the things he did that you may be unhappy with. I absolutely understand and appreciate that people are vehemently unhappy with Israel, with Gaza, with inflation. I am by no means here trying to claim that Joe Biden is perfect, because he's not. But here's the thing. They're never going to be perfect. I've never seen a politician in my entire life whose views align with mine on every issue. And that's okay. That's how it is. That's how it goes. I'm not marrying the president. I don't pray to the president. Joe Biden is not my deity. No politician is. They are vehicles to get me and us closer to the future we want. You've heard the saying, voting isn't marriage, it's public transport. You're not waiting for the one, you're getting the bus. And if there isn't one to your destination, you don't not travel, you take the one getting you closest to where you want to be. If I were to say, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden because he wasn't perfect on every issue, that would be me sacrificing my future. And using my vote to punish Joe Biden is not more important than using my vote to protect my future. That's giving him all the power. That's making this election about him and not about us. Joe Biden is 80 years old. He's not going to be around forever. But most of us are going to be around a hell of a lot longer than that. And so, what's more important? Getting a jab in to voice your dissatisfaction with a politician, or finding the bus to get you closest to your destination? And look, I think that progressives, of which I absolutely consider myself, play a really important role in politics, especially right now. I think we need to push Biden to the left. And by the way, we have. The notion that this lifelong, moderate, white working class Democrat would be the one to cancel $170 billion in student loan debt is crazy. That he would be the most pro-climate president in history? That he would be the one to beat Big Pharma and finally get the government to negotiate lower drug prices? That he would be the one to sign the first gun safety legislation into law in 30 years? Biden is the most progressive president of our lifetimes. That wouldn't have happened without progressives pushing him and without a president who is willing to be pushed, if not on everything, at least on a lot. But if the end result is that progressives abandon Biden because they didn't get everything, well, then there's not going to be a whole lot of incentive for any president to listen to progressives in the future if they know that they demand 100% absolute purity and nothing less. If we want Democratic politicians to continue governing in a way that is progressive, they need to know that we're a reliable bloc, not a fickle one. That's how we lose power. We should be doing everything we can to gain it. So if you hear these arguments from people who've soured on Biden, I think the move here is to remind them that it's going to be their country for a whole lot longer than it's going to be Biden's, and that they have the opportunity to usher in a future that may not be exactly what they want, but it's still going to be a hell of a lot closer to it than with Donald Trump in office.